The last video in the first commentary that I did, I mentioned Barack Obama. And there's a very real possibility that he'll be the next president of the United States. I will be the first one to tell you that I certainly hope he's not. It has nothing to do with color. Well, it does have a little bit to do with color. What it has to do with color is that he has sat under the tutelage of Jeremiah Wright for 20 years, who preaches black liberation theology. The liberation part is liberating black people from white people. Prior to James Cone in the 60s authoring a few books and basically calling it black liberation theology, it was called black separatism. You go back to the days of Marcus Garvey and Fard and some of the founders of the Nation of Islam, the Black Panthers, and various other organizations. And they went so far, originally they wanted to go back to Africa, to have a nation of their own, and just get totally out of the United States and be totally separate from whites. That was kind of glossed over after a few years, and someone came up with the suggestion, someone being Elijah Muhammad actually, that they wanted separate states within the United States where there would be nothing but black people. And the whole idea that Barack Obama has been listening to this stuff and obviously agreeing with it. If he didn't, he would have left. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear any excuses. That's the way life is. If he didn't agree, he would have gone. So implanted somewhere deep within his being is the idea that whites are racist against blacks and want to cause blacks harm, and that blacks should be separate from whites and others. He's also the most liberal senator in the Senate. And that alone, anybody that could be more liberal than Reid or Pelosi or Biden, Conyers, any of those people, I do not want as a president. You know, you can promise people the world. You can even try to give it to them. But when you have no source of income other than taking money from the public in the form of taxes and giving it to someone else, that's not right. That's not what this country was founded on. It was founded on capitalism, not socialism, not communism. It's not right to take from anybody to give to somebody else. Now, if someone is willing, and I believe this is the most generous country that's ever existed, if they're willing to help those in need, fine. And if they're not willing to, then I have no problem in using tax dollars to help people who are truly, through no fault of their own, disadvantaged. But to just take from one person because he's earned more than another person and give it to the person who, for whatever, whether it's poor choices, which 99% of the time, that's the reason. It can be poor health, I'm aware of that. But it's wrong to take something from one person and give it to another one just because the one person was too damn lazy to go out and work and earn money for himself. And Barack Obama is going to raise taxes in ways that ultimately will hurt the poor people a lot more than the wealthy. And I don't care, you know, what kind of shit that they try to feed us, it always turns out to be the same. And if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're obviously going to make them again. And that's what we're about to do if we elect him as president. This man is willing to take from anybody and create more entitlement programs when we need to be creating more jobs, more opportunities. You don't get self-respect unless you earn it. And you earn it by working for it. And without self-respect, you're never going to dig your way out of the ditch. It's not going to happen. For every shovel full of dirt you throw out, 2 are going to fall back in on you. I can't recall anyone who has flip-flopped more on issues than Barack Obama has. He's going to say whatever the group he's speaking to wants to hear. And that's fine, but ultimately, when you've promised everybody everything, no human being can deliver that. So, you know, if you want to go down the road that we went down with Jimmy Carter, there was a term that was an economic term that was came to light during the Carter era. It was called stagflation. There were lines for gasoline. It depended on, in some states, on what your license plate number was as to which day you could get fuel. Now, I'm not willing to go back to all that if I can avoid it. The only thing I can do to avoid it is to vote not to elect Barack Obama. I'm not wild about McCain. In fact, I'm not the least bit excited about McCain, but I don't think that he'll be that stupid. We need oil. We need energy. Yeah, we can do other things maybe in 20 years, but today, right now, we're paying $4 to $5 a gallon for fuel. Barack doesn't want to drill for oil off the Outer Continental Shelf. He doesn't want to drill in Alaska. He doesn't want to get the shale out of the Rockies. He doesn't want nuclear. Wind power and solar sounds wonderful, but when's the last time you saw a car driving down the road on wind power? If you were, he was just coasting. Or if you did, rather, he was just coasting. So you're against every form of providing energy that we know works, while we're working on other forms that can replace those in the future. To just sit on your hands and do nothing is just plain old-fashioned stupid. And it will get you somewhere. Where it will get you is called the poorhouse. So, no, I am 100% against Barack Obama for president. And other than the fact that he's listened to black liberation theology, and there is a danger there that, you know, there could be some residual effects from that on decisions that he would make that can especially affect the taxation of this country. But other than that, I'm just against him because he is far too damn liberal for me. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.